Hello and welcome today to Ways to Change the Workplace with my wonderful guest, the one and only Jai Shah. Jai,
Hey
hello.
guys, how's it going?
Hello and welcome, Jai. It's you and me.
Yeah.
But yes, there's going to be lots of people listening in, so yeah. Jai, I'd like to do a little bit of an introduction to you, and I've got some points about you, but I know your work, so I'm going to freestyle a little bit as well, if I can have some creative license.
Yes, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The wonderful Jai Shah is no relation to me, but we have a wonderful surname. So what can I say? Jai is based in London, North London, I believe. Jai,
Northwest.
not Northwest. Jai
Yeah,
is a Jai is a photographer who I have known for a long, long time. I first came across Jai because I just fell in love with his work. Originally, Jai, the work of yours that I saw was your wedding photography. And you tell stories without words. You capture these moments. I don't even know how you capture these moments, which are just these little special moments of people who might be looking at each other, or a little kid being a little monkey or something like that at these wonderful events, often Indian weddings. And yeah, they're just moments that Jai captures which just, yeah, caught my attention, and I have been a fan ever since. And then Jai changed his business a little bit. Jai always has a side project, and one of his side projects was to photograph professionals. And in one of my past careers, a little bit now also, I am a contemporary artist. So I've got a lot of my work, all around my walls, Jai. And Jai kindly invited me to London for a photo shoot of me and my artwork and what I stood for. And that's where I really got to see Jai in action. I thought, oh my God, this is brilliant. So Jai has a few passion projects also, but before I talk about that, Jai's business now, he supports leaders, professionals with their personal brand in the digital world. We're going to talk a little bit more about that, because what you do, you talk about personal brand, I talk about professional brand, and we have so many segues, Jai. So I'm really looking forward to that. But some interesting other parts about Jai. Jai is a geek for all things Marvel, that I know as well. And Jai, at the moment, is an assistant instructor at Musa Martial Arts School of Choi, Kwang. Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
Cool. I know you love music also, Jai. You have many talents. Welcome.
Hey, well, glad to be here.
Thank you so much. So, Jai, I want to talk to you today about enhancing one's professional brand. I support emerging and established leaders from a professional brand perspective within the workplace. So how people come across, what their leadership style is, what their strengths are, what their weaknesses are, what their opportunities are, and what their threats are. I really work with people in relation to behavioral change.
Right, yeah.
Can you tell me high level at the moment what you're working on and how you're supporting your clients? And then we can talk a little bit more.
So at the moment, as a general overall,
General.
it's about helping people be authentically them and to stand out from the crowd. That's the gist of it.
Yep, I love it.
Yeah.
In a sentence, short and sweet, beautiful. And Jai, that's not an easy thing to do, I imagine.
It's not, no. I mean, there is a process.
Yep.
But it's a lot of unraveling of layers to get to the core. So it is a process, and it is very rewarding
Yeah.
for the client, especially because they just have revelations when they go through it. So
Yep.
yeah.
That's cool. It's quite a process. So Jai, can you tell me a little bit more about my professional brand? Say I was working with you in this new capacity and said, Jai, I really want to work with you. how would you work with me, Jay?
Okay, so what I would do, it'll be about finding who you are as a person, like the true you, right? So there'll be we'll go through 4 different sessions
Yeah.
where we will work on your personal brand, work on who you are, work on what drives you, what motivates you, what your passions are, what, you know, why you do the things you do. So each session has a different subject that we work on, right?
Yep.
At the end of each subject, I'll ask you what you've learned about yourself and what you've taken away, right? And then afterwards, after we've gone through that whole process, right?
Mm-hmm.
In fact, let me take the first session as an example. So the first session, we would go through what your personal values are, right? So personal values are very important for everyone because it's something that, you know, it's something that drives you. It's something that helps you make your daily decisions, right? And if you're aware of what your personal values are, that means you'll become more decisive as well,
Yes.
right?
Okay. Yep.
And when we go through this exercise, we'll have, like, there'll be a couple of stages. So first of all, we'll write all the values that you think, you know, that you embody, right? Then we'll try and chunk them up. So we'll put them into groups that will, you know, be relevant to each other. And then after that, you give each group, you know, an overall value that embodies all those other values.
Huh.
And then for those, you probably end up with 4 or 5. For each of those, you write a statement. And this statement is only for you. It's not for no one else. It's only for you. So
Right.
once you've written that statement, then we'll go through the statement, and then we'll dig down further
Yeah.
to understand why that value is so important to you.
Oh my gosh.
So
It's deep work.
it's getting down deep, like
Yeah.
digging the layers out. So
And Jay, the real importance, especially this year, of our digital presence, whether it be people who are in a service industry such as us, or people who work in a corporate job, it's all about your digital presence now. And I've seen digital profiles of people that are very shiny, happy, and professional. What you expect, and then I've seen these really interesting and different profiles of people who I think they may have worked with people like you, where they really delve deep into themselves and what motivates them, what drives them, what their values are, how they make decisions, all of that. And that really comes across. And it's a hard thing to do, I imagine, is it?
it is. I mean, when I went through the process myself,
Yeah,
it took me a very long time because I didn't have any structure when I first did it.
yeah,
So just going through everything, like, and understanding it took me a while, but it is hard. It is draining as well because you are learning. You are effectively rediscovering who you are.
yeah, yeah.
Um,
And who you're
but
not, and who you're
and who
not
you're not. Yeah,
potentially as
exactly.
well.
Yeah,
Right?
exactly. And you'll notice, like, everything is connected.
Yeah,
You may think like certain things, you know, you do randomly, but you'll find that there are reasons for it. And this is why when people have gone through this personal brand, I call it the personal brand alignment
okay.
process. But when people have gone through it, they'll recognize that certain things are connected somehow. There's like there might be like a certain value or something that's connected, and then they understand. Okay, this is the reason why I'm doing this. And I've noticed with all the clients that I've gone through, they've all felt more confident after after going through it.
Amazing. And those
Yeah,
aha moments, aren't they the best thing to see your client have?
100%, 100%. And to be honest, the first time I did it with a person,
Yep.
not just me,
With a real person, beyond
with a
yourself.
real
Yep.
person, yeah, like that's the first time I ever did it with someone. And so bearing in mind, I've never done any coaching before,
Yep. Yep.
um, only on myself.
Mm,
So I was doing it as a test and learning and developing like that. The
yeah.
first time I did it, I realized, wow, this is something I love. And I was a little bit surprised, but I wasn't, because when I went through the process, one of my values
Yeah.
is personal development.
Yeah.
So, and that embodies always learning, like growing, and just improving yourself.
Awesome.
Um, so I realized this is something I love, and then I was like, okay, this is the reason why I love it. And you find that you start analyzing yourself a lot more
Yeah.
because you're more aware, which is for me. Well, I personally think that's a good thing, but yeah.
That's cool. So, Jay, can I ask you more of a personal question? What have you learned about yourself through this new process as well?
Ooh, that's a tough question.
Yeah.
So much. Okay, so I really, I realize I love good vibes and good energy.
Yeah.
Um, just I just thrive off of that.
Yeah.
Um, but and okay, I think one of the things with that was that I found as well was I connect with people by smiling.
Yeah.
And I remember when I was looking into it, the reason that I do that is because a smile is something you can do without contact, and it can even the playing field. When you connect with someone with a smile, it puts everything on like a level field, so there's no, I mean,
No hierarchy.
yeah, it's just you're just connecting on a level field. So that's something. um
Completely. I think
also,
I was going to say, Jay, having worked with you in the past and been a subject of your photography probably around 3 years ago, thinking about the way you worked with me then, there were telltale signs. Because I remember you emailed me first off saying, I want to take a photo of you with this series of work. Who are you and what is this series about? So you were asking me those kind of questions before. I
mm,
remember also you asked me what I really wanted from the photo shoot, what one thing would be. And my answer to you was strong. So, working as a female in a man's world, I wanted that strength element, but feminine also. And you magic that up. I don't know how you did it, but you did your thing. And then on the day working with you as well, you talked about high vibes and fun. Completely so. We had music, we had lots of
yeah,
delicious food, we had a beautiful location, and you
yeah,
just kept the atmosphere alive. And that's a lot for you're photographing, but then you're constantly on as well. That's a
yeah.
lot for you to do.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's something that's the way I do it. So it's
Comes
just
naturally.
natural, right? Yeah, yeah.
That's cool. Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
but
Um,
yeah, so
and seeing you photograph me, you really made me feel comfortable. So people who may be feeling uncomfortable, is there any way that you really bring people along on the journey? Because being in front of a camera is not the nicest for most people. um do you have any tips of the trade? How do you just make people chill?
well, the most important thing I would say um is picking a photographer that you're comfortable with.
Yeah,
That's
like a
important.
coach as well, same thing.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, because um, you're going to be interacting with the person. It's someone that you need to be able to relax in front of.
Yeah.
Um, so that's one thing. The other thing is have fun with it. Just have fun with it. Like forget. Imagine that it's like an event that you're going to, and
Yes.
you're just gonna let your hair down. You're gonna relax. Um, you're just gonna have fun with it and just go with the flow.
Yeah, drop the paranoia of being in front of the
Yeah,
camera. Now,
exactly, that's it.
Jake, can I ask you? So, after you work with people, you've got a beautiful set of or series of photos for them as well. How are these people using their photos and the material that you provide for them?
So various ways. So in terms of they use it on their websites, they'll use it for content,
Mm-hmm.
um, social media marketing. They might use it for like even like if they're doing webinars or something like that, like materials there. And the whole point. So the one thing about the personal brand alignment process is that it's for people who want to stand out from the crowd, right? So
Yep.
it's people who elevate their public profile, and by elevating their public profile, it will help elevate their business profile as well,
Yeah.
right? So they would use it. every person would probably use it in a different way, depending, but they've got that content there for that.
You make a really good point there, because like me, people come to you for you. I could go to any photographer or
Mm.
anything, but I choose Jai Shah because I love Jai Shah. I love your vibe. I like, your work, what you're about, the big service that you offer. So I imagine that would translate to your customers also, in that they are the face of their business or whatever they do, whether they're working for a corporation or for themselves.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah. Um, This year, we have seen the rise of all things such as digital, Zooms, Teams, LinkedIn profiles, networking on the online. People also apply for jobs, and I've seen this year, Jay. I don't know if you've heard of this thing. Lots of people put their photo on their CVs now as well. I don't know if it's happening in the UK.
I have no idea if that's happening or not.
Yeah, a bit iffy about it. It's
Yeah,
a bit cheesy, but that's another thing for people to really stand out from the crowd, as you just talked
yeah,
about.
yeah.
Um, it can be a really tough transition from not being online to being online. And it sounds like you help people along the way as well with that process in uncovering and understanding more about themselves. Is that right?
Yeah, I mean, it's ultimately like, if you break it down, it's just about knowing yourself and
Yeah,
understanding who you are, and just gaining more clarity. So um, by doing that, it should give you more confidence, whether it's online or offline.
yeah.
So yeah,
I can completely attest to the power of a good picture for so many reasons, not only for your business, but it's for that um, connection that you talk about with your audience, whoever they may well be.
right,
Um,
yeah,
that's the first thing that people come across, don't they? And I've
yeah,
seen,
and
I,
yeah,
I love you put up success stories as well and client testimonials and things like that as well. So you've got many happy campers in your group.
yep. So yeah, and one of the things I put up was about connection. So especially, let's say for example with headshots, right?
Yeah,
Some people, that's the first time they're going to see you.
yeah,
So that's the headshot is what makes that first connection, first impression.
yeah,
And even with headshots, when I'm because the majority of headshots I do are for individuals. Let me restart that. The
yeah.
majority of headshots I do are for individuals and entrepreneurs, which means it's just them, or they may have like a partner or whatever. Um, so I have a little bit of time to talk to them, to understand who they are, what makes them tick, and then let them relax and show their personality out, which I think is quite important in terms of when you're trying to connect with your audience.
Yes.
So once their personality is out, then I'll take the photo.
Yeah, okay, but that's quite the skill that you have, Jay, which I think is a natural thing for you. You make people feel really comfortable so that their personalities do shine. Otherwise, it's this stiff, uncomfortable headshot that I've seen many of as well.
Yeah,
But yours are natural, cool, calm poses, and I see that behind your head itself, you've got a number of those beautiful people there. Uh,
yeah,
is this all of your work, Jay?
yes, yeah. All of my work there.
Yeah.
Line.
Cool. Line them up. Um, I have one final question for you, Jay. So lots of people who I support are based in corporate land.
Okay.
And my final question for you is, what is one way that you would change the world of work?
I would say get rid of boundaries to an extent, in terms of, let's say for example, if someone's working on something, and they should be able to see all the way through instead of just working on a little segment of it.
Yeah,
I think if there's more freedom in kind of, or I mean maybe less definition or defined boundaries. So if someone's like, as I said, if someone's working on something, they can see it all the way through, and if it's something that you know, they could give some other kind of perspectives on it.
Yeah.
It could develop into something beautiful. Because the reason I say this, as a photographer and as a creative, right,
Yeah.
I tend to, when I work, I get in the zone.
You do.
Kind of,
I've seen it.
yeah. You get in the zone, so everything's just free flowing. Everything's just happening. So when you just go with the flow, things start. You know, the magic happens, right? And
Yes.
I'd love to see that in the corporate world, where there's so much structure, but maybe just loosen up the structure a little bit.
Absolutely. So you're talking to breaking silos, you're talking to that freestyle creative thinking and that state of flow, rather than I work on this and then I hand it over to you and then you hand it back to me. And it just breaks that flow for us as well,
Yeah,
doesn't
yeah,
it? That's cool. That's a really different way to change your workplace. Thank you so much, Jay.
yeah,
And
yeah.
I'm very mindful that people may want to get in touch with you. So I've put all of your details in the show notes, and I see your details behind you as well. Um, so no doubt people will reach out to you, Jay. Thank you so much
Perfect.
for your
No
time
worries.
today. And thank you for
Thank you.
talking about the
Good.
importance of a digital presence.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I really
It's
enjoyed it.
we're in a digital world, so
Times are changing. Let's
yeah,
get with it.
yeah.
Thank you so much, Jay.
Thank you for having me. I
You're
enjoyed
welcome.
it.